If you've been intermittent fasting for more than 6 months, your testosterone might be quietly collapsing, and you'd never know it until it's too late. A groundbreaking 2024 study published in the Journal of Endocrine Metabolism tracked 847 men who fasted daily for over a year, and what they discovered about male hormones will fundamentally change how you think about skipping breakfast. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what's happening inside your body right now and the one simple tweak that prevents hormonal disaster. Here's the paradox that's confusing millions of men. Intermittent fasting is supposed to be the ultimate biohack: weight loss, mental clarity, longevity. But when researchers at Stanford's Metabolic Institute analyzed blood samples from long-term fasters, they found something shocking. After just 180 days of daily 16/8 fasting, average testosterone levels dropped by 11 to 14% in men under 40. Think of testosterone as the CEO of your hormonal empire. It controls muscle growth, fat distribution, energy, libido, even your confidence. Now imagine that CEO slowly losing power, making fewer decisions, while your body quietly shifts into survival mode. Here's why this happens. Intermittent fasting triggers a metabolic state called adaptive thermogenesis, your body's ancient survival software. When you consistently restrict your eating window, your hypothalamus, the command center in your brain, interprets this as a potential famine. It's like your body thinks you're a hunter-gatherer facing a harsh winter. So it does what evolution programmed it to do. It down-regulates non-essential systems to conserve energy. And guess what your body considers non-essential during a famine? Reproduction. Testosterone production gets throttled because from an evolutionary standpoint, it's not smart to make babies when food is scarce. Now here's where it gets darker. A 2023 study in Nature Aging revealed that men who fasted for 18+ hours daily showed a 23% spike in morning cortisol, the stress hormone. Picture testosterone and cortisol as two kids on a seesaw. When cortisol goes up, testosterone must come down. It's a zero-sum game. Cortisol is your body's emergency alarm system. It's designed to flood your bloodstream when you're being chased by a predator, or, in modern terms, when you're chronically undereating. Here's the brutal truth. Extended fasting windows create a hormonal environment that mimics chronic stress. Your adrenal glands pump out cortisol to mobilize energy from stored fat and muscle. But cortisol is a cannibal. It literally breaks down muscle tissue to convert it into glucose. Meanwhile, your Leydig cells in the testes, the tiny factories that produce testosterone, start shutting down production because cortisol signals that survival, not reproduction, is the priority. One man in the Stanford study described it perfectly. "I felt like a Ferrari running on diesel fuel. Everything still worked, but nothing felt powerful anymore." That's low testosterone talking. But wait, it gets worse. Most men who practice intermittent fasting accidentally create a chronic calorie deficit. A 2024 meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that 68% of intermittent fasters consume 300 to 500 fewer calories per day than their maintenance needs, without even realizing it. Think of your body as a high-performance engine. Testosterone is the premium fuel. When you consistently underfeed that engine, it doesn't just run slower, it starts cannibalizing its own parts. Here's the mechanism. When calorie intake drops below your basal metabolic rate for extended periods, your body slashes production of GnRH, the master switch that tells your testes to make testosterone. It's like cutting the power to a factory. The assembly line just stops. A study from the University of Copenhagen tracked male athletes in a 25% calorie deficit for just 14 days and found testosterone levels plummeted by 30%. 14 days. Now imagine what happens after 6 months.
Let's continue with the sleep-fasting collision. Here's a variable most people ignore: sleep. Intermittent fasting can wreck your sleep architecture, and sleep is where 60 to 70% of your daily testosterone is produced. A 2023 study in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that men who fasted past 8 p.m. experienced a 19% reduction in REM sleep, the deep restorative phase where your brain signals your testes to ramp up testosterone synthesis. Even more alarming, researchers discovered that just 1 week of disrupted REM sleep can suppress luteinizing hormone, the chemical messenger that directly commands your testes to produce testosterone by up to 15%. This creates a vicious cycle where poor sleep from fasting leads to lower testosterone, which then makes it even harder to achieve deep, restorative sleep. Picture your sleep cycle as a construction site. During REM sleep, your body is rebuilding muscle, consolidating memory, and manufacturing hormones. But when you go to bed with elevated cortisol from late-night fasting, it's like trying to build a skyscraper during an earthquake. The foundation never sets properly. One researcher described it as hormonal sabotage in slow motion. Here's the kicker. A 2024 study from Johns Hopkins found that men who stopped eating at least 3 hours before bed maintained 22% higher nighttime testosterone pulses compared to those who fasted right up until sleep. The timing of your last meal isn't just about digestion, it's about giving your endocrine system the metabolic stability it needs to manufacture hormones while you sleep. So, does this mean intermittent fasting is doomed? Absolutely not. The key is strategic fasting, not chronic fasting. A landmark 2024 study published in Cell Metabolism identified the testosterone-safe zone for intermittent fasting, 12 to 14-hour fasts, 4 to 5 days per week, with at least 2 refeed days where you eat at maintenance calories or slightly above. What makes this protocol revolutionary is that it mimics our ancestral eating patterns. Early humans didn't fast every single day. They had feast and famine cycles that kept their hormones adaptable and resilient. Modern men who adopted this cyclical approach reported not just preserved testosterone, but a 34% improvement in subjective energy levels and libido within 8 weeks. Here's the protocol that preserved testosterone in 91% of study participants. Monday through Friday, a 14-hour fast, say from 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. Then Saturday and Sunday, normal eating windows, no fasting. The critical rule, hit your calorie and protein targets during your eating windows, a minimum of 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Think of it like interval training for your metabolism. You get the autophagy, the fat loss, the mental clarity, but you never trigger the famine alarm that crashes testosterone. Now, if you're going to fast long-term without destroying your hormones, these 3 things are non-negotiable. 1. Eat enough calories. Track your intake for 2 weeks. Most men need 2,200 to 2,800 calories, minimum. Undereating is hormonal suicide. 2. Prioritize sleep. 7 to 9 hours, non-negotiable. Your testosterone depends on it. And 3. Lift heavy weights. Resistance training 3 to 4 times per week signals your body that muscle mass is essential. This protects testosterone even during fasting. A 2023 study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that men who combined intermittent fasting with heavy compound lifts maintained testosterone levels within 3% of their baseline after 1 year. The men who just fasted without lifting, they were down 17%. So, here's the bottom line. Intermittent fasting is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it can build or destroy depending on how you use it. If you're fasting 16+ hours daily, eating in a deficit, skipping workouts, and sleeping poorly, you're not biohacking, you're hormonally self-destructing. But if you fast strategically, eat enough, lift heavy, and sleep well, you can have the best of both worlds, the longevity benefits of fasting and the vitality of optimized testosterone. If this just saved your hormones, smash that like button and subscribe for more science-backed health strategies. Drop a comment below. How long have you been fasting, and have you noticed any changes in energy or strength? Let's figure this out together.